Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Pablo.
And every week we take an ordinary experience, whether that's a fear, a relationship, a conflict, a frustration, and we ask a different question
What am I missing?
because transformation doesn't necessarily happen when life changes. It happens when we finally see what's been here all along. Welcome to Seeing What's
Yeah,
Here.
what's here? Thank you.
Yeah. So, how's it been going?
Summer's been great. End of summer is coming around. I can kind of feel that energy. Things are starting up, booting back up again. We just did the Huckleberry Festival, and that was really very, very interesting for me this year. I don't know. I'm a very different headspace, I guess, coming to the end of summer because the podcast is actually doing really well, and it's reaching the people that I hoped
Mm-hmm.
it would reach whenever you and I started working
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
and I couldn't ask for,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just what happened yesterday with my cousin calling me and talking to me for about an hour.
Yeah.
That was wonderful because yeah, we were talking about these things. She was raised Christian,
Mm-hmm.
and she was just talking about how there's a little bit of joy that's missing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's and she doesn't understand why.
Yeah.
And I think hearing the podcast and hearing what we talked about, the fact that we're from Montana, and so she's visited before,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
she's made that connection with
Right.
nature and the mountains and being up
Sure.
here. And so she, asked, how do we get this kind of peace where I live? It's like, oh my gosh, that is a really, really great question,
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think, when it comes right down to it, everybody's going to realize that there was a journey that they're on. Like people are coming, they're catching on to that.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what maps they were using, they're seeing that, holy mackerel, like
Mm-hmm.
I have a plan. There's a plan for my life. Like, like there's something that I should be doing.
Yeah.
And it comes to them, I don't know, in certain ways. Like in our subject this week, sometimes it comes in some kind of a shock to yourself, like you didn't even realize that you could be that kind of person,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and and I don't know, I think that's how it happens. I mean, you say it all the time that relationships are just a mirror,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so they're there to kind of help
Right.
you along with your soul's journey,
Right.
to kind of understand it in the way I'm starting to understand it. It's in a narrative format.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it's like a
Mm-hmm.
linear most of the time in 3D world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think where we could be more helpful is to understand that you're more than that. Like you're way
Mm-hmm.
more than that. There's a lot more here going on that people are starting to understand. Oh, like I didn't have a name for that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're catching on to those things that are seeming to be more important,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they kind of know the basics, but then they're like, well, where's that go? Like love, you can kind of, that's a basic, and you're kind of, you think that you're going to go after it some kind of way, but then who knows? Like, you don't know how it's going to show up, because
Yeah.
it's always just right around the corner. You never know when God's going to rear his head, and
Mm-hmm.
say, here I am,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
That's true.
Mhm.
I think that's what started my thought process on the topic this week is talking to my brother, and he was saying, when you know yourself, you know God. And I was like, I don't know myself, which then freaks me out because I've always wanted to know God and connect with God. And I'm like, well, if I don't even know who the hell I am, okay. So just kind of left me in a
Well, okay, so
void.
well, so when we went over the coaching, we talk a lot about how God is in everything.
Hmm. Yeah.
And like in the Gnostic teachings, um, Christ has said there really is no sin except for what you call sin. So, what is that?
when I hear that, I feel very, well, then everything's permissible and everything's okay, and I
But is it?
struggle with it.
But is it permissible to obey?
I think society may not say so, or family structure may not say so, or religion may not say so.
Mm-hmm.
Government, all those things are the things that seem to put boundaries on us in the 3D world. I don't know. So I can hear a philosophy like that, and it sounds like, okay, nice, I suppose, but
I think we just
w-
didn't we do that on purpose, like to just take care of one another.
what? Put boundaries in place?
Yeah, laws like that.
Sure.
Marriage vows and
Hmm.
things like that. Well, like the marriage vow, like you have that for a reason because when you well, okay, so like if you understand that this thing is a soul's journey and you've got a co-captain and you take that vow in front of God, so like what is that? It's
Hmm.
like, well, it's like I guess yourself, and you're gonna say that you're gonna forsake all others and all that. It's like, why was that so important? Because I think
I
back in
don't
the old
know.
days it was like for money, right?
Sure.
Property.
Taxes, tax
Mm-hmm.
conveniences, and
Mm-hmm. But in the modern world,
hmm
that's changed. Like, don't you think? Like people don't really do it for that reason anymore, right?
yeah, I don't know. I was talking to somebody about that recently. Like, I don't, even what the concept of Western marriage vows, like where did that come from, and
Mm-hmm.
why is it written this way? And you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, okay, well, in the Torah it says, yeah, not to take a vow. Don't do that. So I need to explore that, and like the Jewish
Mm-hmm.
concept of marriage in terms of they write a ketubah, like there is a contract
Mm-hmm.
between the husband and the wife, but that's different than a Western marriage. I don't know. Anyway,
See? Isn't that something?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just another frame, another way of
Another
looking at it.
frame,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
still, the goal is the same, isn't it? Like when you're in that union, it's
Mhm.
still like
Mhm.
towards God, right? Like
Mhm.
trying to get to a higher.
I don't know that people think it is. I think they're like, oh, I like how this person makes me feel. Let's get married. You make me feel a certain way. So okay. I
Is
don't know. Yeah.
mm, I think feeling is some of it, like chemistry, a
Mm.
little
Well,
attraction.
yeah. Hopefully.
But then, I mean, there's got to be way more than that. Yeah, like like when you see somebody that's on their path. I
Mhm.
mean, like
Mhm.
we've talked about this before in other podcasts where it's like, how do you know when you see somebody with integrity? It's
Mhm.
like, well, they're living out their path
Yes.
and they're
Right.
living
Right.
out their
Yeah.
full potential.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was funny because at the Huckleberry Festival, we ran into a family there, and I was telling Jessica, it's like, yeah, they were just blessed with that grace, like just thick grace that, and they work on it. This mother and father, they work very hard to on their marriage, and they have these kids, and they have such great energy,
Mhm.
and then that goes out in the world,
Yeah.
like that kind of what is it? It's not like just this Pollyanna positive stuff. It's not that
Well.
necessarily. It's more of like just this understanding that there is something else out there bigger than you.
Mhm.
That is the
Mhm.
main thing.
Mhm.
And so it was cool, the story that she shared. I want to share it with
Yeah.
you. Yeah, because I think it speaks to a lot of what we're talking about here too. I don't know, maybe not, but we'll see. I love the story
Mhm.
because okay, so we're all like I am second generation. My cousin Sandra is second generation. My cousin Benny is second generation American from Mexico. My grandmother came here illegally during the time of Pancho Villa.
Mm.
And so, but anyway, one of the biggest things that our dads could have done was build their own houses. And so a lot of that generation, they did that. So my dad, he built a house. My uncle Sandy, he built a house. I think Rick built a house. Well, but then my uncle Victor, he built his house. And so I didn't know this, but okay, so my uncle Vic, he was a crazy partier, right? womanizing, drinking, Jimmy Buffett loving painter, and but he just kept running up against the walls, of what happens if you're just following lust and things like that. You're gonna. It's funny how the world has those consequences. Like you don't even need rules. Like you get smacked up in the face if that's the way you're living, right? And so eventually, he gave his heart to God, to Jesus. Like this was like Christian fundamental stuff. And so when he built his house, there was this big rock that he had, and he had written the kids' names and him and his wife's name, and said that this house will be built on the rock, the rock of Jesus, obviously, right? And so he gets that rock and he buries it in the middle of the living room floor, in the slab.
Wow.
And so then they pour over. In fact, I asked Sandra to give me a picture of this, because it's not that, well, once Sandra told that story to DJ, her son, they were thinking about selling this place. But then DJ said, "You're never selling this place." Once he found out that that rock was placed there like that, he says, "No, you're not going to sell it." So now DJ, he has it. And my father is helping DJ fix it up. So DJ is, he's a very Christian person. I would say, I think he wanted to be a pastor at one point. And so he's working with my father, who is, as far as I remember, he was an atheist. And so isn't it funny that they're still having, like, he told that whole story to my father, and then it was crickets. And so, like, that's the whole thing. Like, you're going to have to go out there and make sense out of your own life. The way that Sandra and me and DJ are seeing that house is that there was something way more going on than just, studs in a wall, or, like slab in a wall. That when he did this, he was thinking about, the foundation for his family.
Sure.
Again, I don't care if it was Jesus, because I know people get lost in maps sometimes. It doesn't matter. Because now, if you look at the Gnostic Jesus, he was just telling you, look, I believe in this guy who told you that you're the light. And like, I really believe that what his message was paramount. It was the thing. And then he did something physically in the 3D world to what is that called when you do that? Like it's like alchemy, right?
Yeah.
When you do something in 3D
you're transforming, you're bringing that energy down into this reality.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So I guess that's what it's, so just in talking to Sandra, I just realized, I think that's the thing that people are missing. They're just missing that soulful way of seeing things. And they don't need to necessarily, like they thought, or people think you have to go to a church to get that kind of language, but it's like you can just turn that language back on in your whole in your own life. Turn that kind of activity on in your own life. That is how you have reverence for your soul. By doing that, listening to it,
Right.
just succumbing and surrendering to what it asks of you.
Right. But that can be very scary.
It can be really scary, but that's okay, because at the other end of this is God, because there is no sin. If he is putting that in your heart, that's there for a reason. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I told Sandra. Because she's set up her life the way everybody does. They think that we can do it, we can control.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden you're just sitting there and it's like the joy's out of it.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I think we always come back to this forum was not a battleground. I believe it was a playground. And so at this time, are you playing? What have you done? What's that thing that God's going to ask you when you
Oh, yeah, that's from one of the Jewish texts that I'm sorry I don't remember, but at the end of your soul's journey, your life, that God will ask, did you enjoy my creation?
Amen.
Yeah.
And so then Sandra shared with me,
Mhm.
um, her so her mom had a heart attack,
Mm.
and she was legally dead for 5 minutes on the table, but
Wow.
she came back, and she did have a near-death experience.
Mhm.
Came back and told the doctor, "Did you smell all the flowers?"
Wow.
And then the doctor was like, "Okay, this is a good sign because I've
Mhm.
heard things like this
Mhm.
before, and it's whatever."
Mhm.
And then Sandra told me, well, when she came back, she heard a voice that said, "It's not your time yet."
Mm.
And that's pretty common
Yeah.
too. Um, but then I told Sandra, is like, something about your mom,
Mhm.
Lisa, is her name's Luisa. Um, I always loved her because I always thought that she was the kind of Christian. If I was going to be a Christian,
Mhm.
that's the kind I'd
Mhm.
be, a small C Christian.
Mhm.
She was never pushing it. She was never doing verses in front of people or being judgmental about it. She just had him in her heart,
Mhm.
and you
Mhm.
could tell she
Yeah.
just kind of glowed about it,
Yeah.
and she just wasn't pushy about it.
Yeah.
And to me, that was like, I love Christians like that, just small C Christians, like you do the thing. He
Mhm.
said, love others like
Mhm.
as yourself.
Mhm.
You don't pull a Bible out. Don't
Right.
start doing the verses. Just do what he said. And the first 10 commandments too, by the
Mhm.
way,
Mhm.
which is the thing about Christians that I told Sandra, that's the thing about Christianity that I think is being called into question right now. Because everybody thinks that once you accept Christ as your savior, that you're saved.
Mhm.
And it's like, that's not the truth.
Mm.
There's a lot of work that goes
Yeah.
into your soul's journey. And I
There
think
should be. Yeah.
and I think that Christianity like that abdicates a lot of that work.
Yes, it does.
So
Mhm.
anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I went off on a
Oh,
tangent.
no, no, it all comes back around. But I do wanna take a minute to introduce our founding sponsor,
Kukusin
Kukusin
coffee.
Coffee, which is what we drink every time we do our podcast.
Yes.
And this is a new blend. I
Yes.
see
Yeah. The
the darkness. It
darkness.
is a dark blend.
I
Yeah,
like, I like the label.
I do too. It's really pretty. Yeah,
That's very neat.
yeah. And yeah, you can buy this online, and it's also here in Thompson Falls, Montana. Yeah.
Kukusin coffee.
Cucusant, which means
Stargazer.
thank you. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. And today's the
And it's really,
eclipse.
oh, it is the eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Jessica's making sun tea on an eclipse day. We'll see how it tastes. But anyway, in our journey of, and I'm sorry if I wasn't clear about our topic, but yeah, just knowing ourselves.
Yeah. Do
And
you really know yourself?
because I sat after talking to my brother and I'm like, yeah, made a list like, oh, I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a teacher, I am a this, I am a that. And it's like, okay, these, and then crossed out. These are just all roles that I'm playing in this 3D reality. Who am I? Sorry, gouging table.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Who am I for real?
You can tell this is
Besides those
something I'm
roles.
working through this week.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because there is more there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's way more
Yeah.
there, and well, isn't it funny? Like you're hitting the table,
Yeah.
like there's something about
Yeah.
something needs to come out almost.
Yeah.
You know?
I do know.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
there's journaling and all that, but I've got to tell you that well, when you and I were doing work with Leva Muna, I was also listening to a guy on YouTube, Simone Jacobson, Rabbi Simone
Yeah.
Jacobson.
Yep.
And one of the things that he likes to talk about is movement.
Mm-hmm.
You got to move.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really weird because it's like you wouldn't think that would be such a spiritual thing. But it's like,
It
no, no,
is.
no. Because after you do your, meditations
Yeah.
and stuff, I think it demands action.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that's what you're feeling. Maybe like there's some action that's not getting expressed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to get like some sculpture or
Oh,
something,
I'm not artistic in that way.
some clay or
Something.
Yeah.
Do something. Yeah. Yeah. No, but yeah, no, our roles aren't who we are,
No.
or our history even. And, a lot
No.
of times we define ourselves by what's happened to us in the past
Right.
or even values it's.
Yeah, how many times will we not try something because we did it once before and then it's like, well, I don't like such
Yeah.
and such.
Yeah. Right.
And so going forward, you never do that again.
Very true. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. One of the takeaways from the Huckleberry Festival too was there were some Mormon
Mm-hmm.
young gentlemen there, and they were walking around talking to people, proselytizing. But I remember telling Jessica, I was like, this irritates a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
when
Yeah.
proselytizers come
Yeah.
out and start doing that
Irritates
stuff.
me.
But I actually engaged with them and talked with them
Yeah.
because, one of the things that I realize is that in this life, how much of an adventure it is and the experiences that you have everything to do with how willing you are to put yourself out there, to
Mm-hmm.
be vulnerable, to be the fool, to actually put words out of your mouth into the world and see how they land. To have the courage to do that can make things so amazing in your life. Because the opposite of that is to hide.
Yeah.
The opposite of that is to say that you know yourself, but then you don't say the words properly
Mm-hmm.
and you don't live out the actions properly. That is the worst because that, I think, is what ends up
Mm-hmm.
making the disease.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what makes the disease.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know,
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Not being aligned with.
not being
Yeah.
aligned, yeah,
Yeah.
with your words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're just words. Yeah.
What else did you and Gabe talk about?
A lot.
Yeah. Like what? About knowing ourselves.
Oh, there are things that I can't say.
Oh my. Dude, that'd be juicy. We could put that on our Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Where have you learned the most about yourself in what you enjoy or in a choice that cost you something?
Oh, wow.
That was another thing I was processing. Like, okay, well,
Mhm.
all right, to get to know myself, is it okay? I like to read. I like to,
It was in it was
but
in
that's.
it was in some I learned most about myself when I took a risk and got burned.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the
Mm-hmm.
failure and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. I learned the most about myself on
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. You think it's going to be different, especially when you haven't learned the lesson and you do it again and you're like, fuck. And then you do it again. You're like, fuck. And do it again. And finally you're like, okay, maybe not do that. And then you don't do that and you're fine. But I know that life's more exciting whenever you engage with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, I even know that when I watch this podcast, I sit there and I say, who is that asshole? Like for real, I look at the podcast and I think this guy's a real kind of a tool. But you know, I you know, when you understand everything, it's like, well, you want to encourage that out of everybody, like because everybody's here to do their thing, whatever that is, at whatever level they are. Some are more unconscious than others. And so I think that's what you're here to do. You're here to just catch them where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
be here with them, like
Mm-hmm.
here with them. And then I don't know, like I don't even think we know. Like I'm just saying that I think I know. I know more than maybe some, but I'm not pretending like I know it all. I just know that in my experience in living this life, there's a lot to be said for
Mm-hmm.
following the other end of what you desire. And those desires, I mean, like I said, they can be noisy and ego centered in the beginning, but the more you calm your mind, the more you get the distractions out,
Mm-hmm.
the more that's going to be soul that's going to be
Yeah.
talking more. And yeah, maybe it's going to say something at once that you're like, wait a minute, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, did we talk about this? Was it with Jessica? Um, when you get on this soul's path, when you start wanting to live out this way, it was Carolyn Miss MYSS
Mm-hmm.
that she says one of the first things that your soul may say is, "I don't like this house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live here anymore."
Mm-hmm.
because everything that you did was all ego-centered, and you did everything because it was the right neighborhood, it was the right school, it was
Sure.
the right this, it was the right that,
Yeah.
and you got it all set up, but then your soul sat there cloistered in your cloistered neighborhood and said, this is not what I wanted.
Right.
Not at all. Not in the least.
Right.
And those people, they had to deal with that discomfort in some way.
Yeah.
So
Sure. Or it expresses.
in some kind of,
Yeah.
yes.
Illness, psychosis, or you just
Neurosis,
numb it with all our copes, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think with, we were talking about following desires too. It's examining what's underneath the surface of that, that we all have needs and these unmet needs particularly, and maybe it's confronting us to examine what's underneath the surface.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you are constrained by time here, and your soul knows that, even though it's timeless. It does know that down here it is constrained by time. So you only have a certain amount.
I don't think there's either a real finished me, beneath the surface, and maybe that's where I'm getting all wound up too. Like, oh, I need to try to find who I am and find me, and it's like, oh, there's not even a perfect Vanessa, that's hiding somewhere that I need to figure out. It's just
no, there's just Vanessa in the present, in the now,
yeah,
with her current desires and wants. That's you.
Yeah,
because future Vanessa, that's not even a real thing.
No.
And even past Vanessa is not a real thing.
Nope. Yeah. Just the absolute now.
That's all we have.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, okay. There are others that are living other ways. This is true. Because, like I said, narcissists, especially, people really stuck in ego, they typically it has to be like the whole story. It's a narrative, and you've got to, in their narrative, you've got to fit into their narrative a certain way, and it all becomes something very of mind and very of, well, look what I did for all these people. Look what I did, and I don't know. I think when it's soul driven, it doesn't look that way. It doesn't look that way.
Yeah. How does it look?
It looks a little more natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like, just the...
It might not check all the boxes, that society expects.
No, it's not. It's not.
Because I'll say that about my brothers. Like, I really feel like he embodies what he lives, and that the way he lives does not look necessarily like what society would say is a successful person or whatever.
Correct.
And
yeah. You have to
just
be willing to say that that's not necessarily, that doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that is kind of it, because most of the time people are just afraid to die. That's really it. They're really just afraid of dying. And they haven't really thought about why they're so afraid to die. And and really, what you came down here to live.
Yeah.
I truly believe in that myth that before you came down here, you picked your parents. And so, instead of being a victim, try to piece together, why the hell would you have done that?
Right.
Why would you have picked your parents?
Yes, I do.
It's a good question, though.
Why did I pick my parents? Yeah. Oh, of course it is.
Have you ever meditated on that?
Not deep enough, no. Because I just again, I deflect and say I don't know a lot because I don't want to go deeper.
Okay. Well, then I'm just going to share this one little thing because I have thought about it. I think that before I was a soul, I picked my parents because my mother loved music and she loved words. And my father loved music, guitar. He played guitar, and he loved math and logic. And I think when I came into their family, they both wanted the best. They had so much baggage, trauma, that it kind of got muddied up. But that was really what they wanted. They wanted the best, you know. They didn't want their kids to have to struggle so much. And so for them, like, I think my mom really thought that music and being a celebrity, like in the 70s, that would be the thing to do. Like, that'd be the way to, like, kind of close all those archetypal cycles, you know. And so I went to go learn how to do music. And I remember my dad used to always say that the magic to music was in the chords. Chords, that's where the magic was. And so I remember learning chords from a saxophone teacher, learning jazz, and we were doing scales. And then he said, okay, so the chords are just these numbers in the scale, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, flat 5. And I remember my mind was like, I was like, what the hell? And I ran home. I got the music books out. I turned on the turntable, and I started on the piano with the notes, learning all the chords. And then that's when I was able to start expressing myself, you know, musically, you know, with melodies and singing and all that. And so I always wondered, because it was always, I was moved by music that was like autobiographical and all this. And then I saw, like, culturally, where we loved music, like in the 60s.
Sure.
It was cornerstone to a revolution, I think, you know, right? But then somewhere along the way, it got hijacked, and music was kind of taken away from us. I mean, people still did some things, but, you know, a lot of hip hop, a lot of bad pop. But what I'd noticed more than anything was culturally as well, people were like, they were kind of going towards the spoken word as well. So, like, wasn't that something? Like, we were into the music and the lyrics and all that, in autobiographical songwriting and things of that nature. But then all of a sudden now, we pay money to go hear people like Jordan Peterson go speak, or, you know, go hear podcasters go do their podcasts and things like that. So it's like, you hardly ever go hear a band play. When was the last time you heard a band play, you know? Does anybody ever even want to hear them? You know, most of the time it's annoying to go hear somebody else play music. I could barely get away with it in my own house. So I guess that's what I'm saying. All these things that I chose my parents for were the things in me where I would finally learn, because I thought, you know, for years, like, songwriting was it, right? Well, it's not just that the songwriting, it's the word. It's your word. It's the spoken word. It's the words said over with intention. It's how you want to frame your world with your words and with your spirit.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's the magic of what you can do down here. Because you surround yourself with all that shit, and then all of a sudden, poof, here it is.
Yeah.
It's like magic,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's important. For sure.
Did that make you emotional?
I just am. I don't know how to wrap it up.
Say what's on your mind. Say what's something real. Do it.
No.
Say it. It's right there. Stuck in your throat chakra.
Probably.
Let it out. It doesn't have to be out there. Just for shits and giggles, let that out. Whatever's right there. It's not going to kill you. Let it out.
I don't know what to let out.
Just let it out. There's no judgment here.
I know there isn't. I know. Watch Vanessa have a breakdown
You're not
on the
gonna have a
podcast.
breakdown. And even if you want to, that's fine.
I know. People engage. Here we go. What question could help us pause when we hear ourselves say, I don't know?
I don't know about, like...
Oh, I don't know. Because I say, I don't know all the time because I'm avoiding looking deeper.
What image comes up whenever you think about what you're avoiding? What image comes up? Is it a present thing, or is it a consequence? What comes up? Is it the consequence that comes up, or is it
I think so, yeah. I think it's consequence and yeah.
oh, this is a big one. Living with consequences, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Because, well, my life is kind of shaped like that
Mhm.
because, there were things that I could not live with, and my soul
Mhm.
protested.
Mhm.
And even when I didn't, well, like, I thought that last job I had, I thought that was perfect.
Mhm.
I could just do that and just coast the rest
Yeah.
of the way.
Yeah.
And the soul was not going to have it.
Mhm.
I actually bawled out a customer.
Mhm.
Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
That's a no-no, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was my soul saying, fucking listen to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this customer service with propane and software.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I have something else I want you to do.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And so, well,
Yeah.
I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Even though you may feel this way, I think that what we do here, it's I know I joke about it and I call it a church, and you
Mhm.
hate that word,
I do.
but it's our little community,
Mhm.
Vanessa. It's our
Mhm.
little place where we come together, where
Mhm.
people can listen and
Mhm.
talk,
Yeah.
and there's no other place for them to go
Mhm.
because they don't want to go to a church, and they just need a place where they can talk like this.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yep.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah.
It's not much. Oh, yeah. So I don't know. I think for the week, maybe the question isn't who am I, but just, what maybe do I know about myself that I don't want to admit or don't want to explore? What's that bringing up? Yeah.
Mm.
Well, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you,
Oh
Pablo,
yeah,
how would they do that?
just reach me by email at info@chroniclesofpablo.com. And if they wanted to reach you,
Mhm.
Vanessa, how would they
Yeah,
do that?
absolutely. I'm on all social media platforms, so you can send me a DM or go to my website at expansivelifesolutions.com. Yeah. So, whatever you're facing this week, maybe don't rush to fix it or change it. Just see
See
what's
what's here.
there. All right. Thanks for
See ya.
listening.